So the three things I love about skillet roasted lemon chicken are, first, it is so easy to make. I love it. The second one is that when you cook the chicken, it actually makes its own sauce with lemon and onions. It's delicious. And the third one is that you don't even need to serve it on a platter. I just take the entire skillet and put it on the buffet, and everybody helps themselves. So let's go make some skillet roasted lemon chicken. The first thing I'm gonna do is make an herb oil, which I'm gonna brush on the chicken. And it's thyme, fennel. It's gonna make it delicious. I don't know why, but in every book, there's one recipe that everybody seems to make. In Cook Like a Pro, it was red wine braised short ribs. And in Cooking for Jeffrey, it was the skillet roasted lemon chicken. Every time somebody stopped me after that book came out, they said, you know what I made? Skillet roasted lemon chicken. I was like, oh, really? Me too. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme leaves. I'm gonna grind it up in a little food processor so you don't even need to chop it. 1 and 2. I think fresh thyme for this is so important. And then 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. These are whole fennel seeds. 1 tablespoon of salt. I want it to be really well seasoned. And 1 teaspoon of coarsely ground pepper. I love this little pepper milk. Yes, I do measure everything, even my own recipes. Okay, I'm just gonna grind all this up. And when you grind it up, the oil from the fennel seeds really flavors it. Okay, that's the seasoning mixed. So the next is 1/3 cup of olive oil. And the seasoning mix. Just stir it together. Okay, so that's the herb oil that's gonna flavor the chicken. Okay, next I've got this huge cast iron skillet, and it's perfect for roasting this chicken. So I've got 1 onion, thinly sliced, just distributed it so it's even. I love these flavors, they're my favorite. Onions, garlic, lemon, thyme, fennel. Then 2 cloves of garlic that I've thinly sliced. I'm just gonna distribute them around. And 1 lemon. I sliced it in half and then sliced it thinly, so they're like in half rounds. And what's amazing about this, when the chicken cooks on top of it, the juices and the white wine that I'm gonna put in and the onions, they all cook together, and you can eat the whole lemon, rind and all. It's so good. Okay, that's the bottom of it. Next is the chicken. So what I did was I asked the butcher to butterfly a chicken, which means you take out the backbone and kind of lay it flat. And that way it's very even and it cooks really quickly. So I'm gonna take some paper towels and just pat dry the skin. If the skin is dry, and then I'm gonna put the herb olive oil on, it gets nice and brown. Just what you want the chicken to do. I buy my chicken from a local chicken farm called Iacona. Everybody loved Mr. Iacona. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his wife Eileen is. He used to have a goose named Shadow who would follow him around. I guess the goose loved him too. They'd go from the house to the store and back to the house together. Okay, so I'm gonna put this upside down, skin side down, on the onions and the lemon and garlic, and brush half the oil right on the chicken. It's gonna flavor it incredibly well. This is a great dish for entertaining because you can really assemble it in advance. I mean, never mind, it's so fast to make. And put the whole thing in the refrigerator and then just throw it in the oven before dinner. I've done it many times. When I'm really in a hurry and I don't have much time to make dinner for friends, skillet lemon chicken is on the menu. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this over. Make sure all the lemons and onions are in the bottom of the pan. And then put the rest of the herb olive oil on top so the skin gets nice and brown and the chicken's beautifully flavored. Actually, I like to serve this with roasted broccolini and couscous, both of which take no time at all to make. And the sauce from the chicken and all of that together is just fantastic. Okay, that's ready. I'm just gonna put it in the oven, 450 degrees for 45 minutes. It's a hot oven, but it cooks fast. And then about 30 minutes in, I'm gonna take some white wine and just put it around it, and it's gonna make the most delicious sauce. Okay, into the oven. Oh, that's a big baby. So when the 30 minutes is up, I'll pour a half a cup of white wine around the chicken, not on it, otherwise the skin won't brown. And cook it for another 15 minutes. This is fantastic. Look how good this looks. So it's chicken and sauce. Slam. So I'm gonna add a few things just to give it more flavor at the end. You know, as I've developed as a cook, one of the things I've learned is the thing that you add at the end that you taste first. So I always try and find something that's in the dish, and then that flavor of the lemon is gonna be like the first thing that hits your tongue when you taste it. As it rests, it really just absorbs the flavor. Seeds and all. Don't worry about the seeds. People will know it's real lemon. Okay, so the juice of 1 lemon. And just to give this a little more flavor, and I have lots of rosemary outside, I thought I'd add just a little bit of rosemary. So it's got thyme, and it's got fennel, garlic, onion, just a little bit of rosemary, just to give it extra flavor. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. Rosemary is really strong, so you don't want too much. Just enough to give it another layer of flavor. This is the kind of chicken that even if you're a first-time cook, you can make. And if you're an experienced cook, you'll be happy to make. Okay, just a little sprinkling of rosemary on the top. This is gonna be great. Okay, now I'm gonna let it rest. 15 minutes, and all the flavors kind of get back into the chicken, all the juices, and it's just so much moisture and more delicious. Can't wait. Time to carve the chicken. It smells great. I wish you could smell it. And the best part of this chicken is you don't have to carve it the way you usually carve a chicken. All I do is cut it in quarters. And that's one of the best things about butterflying it. It's like really easy to cut in quarters. Isn't this amazing? I love the way it looks. It's the perfectly browned chicken and all that gorgeous sauce underneath. And you can put it on a platter, but I like the rustic kind of feeling of just serving it right out of the pan. Everybody can just help themselves. I'm just gonna spoon the sauce right over the chicken so everybody gets chicken and sauce all together. And this is the amazing thing about this dish, is you actually get cooked lemon. It's really tender and it caramelizes with the onions. Look at that sauce, isn't that great? I actually like the sauce as much as the chicken. That is so good. This might actually be my favorite chicken of all times. Yum. The 3 things I like about lemon capellini are, first, it's so fast to make. It's unbelievable, like 5 minutes from start to finish. Second thing I like is it's 3 ingredients, pasta, lemon, and butter. I usually have them in the house. And the third thing I like is it's great as a side dish, but also if you add things like a little shrimp, maybe a dollop of caviar on a special occasion, it can be a main course. Let's go make lemon capellini. Okay, pay attention. This is like the fastest pasta I ever made. So first I have a big pot of water to a rolling boil. I put a lot of salt in it. You want the salt to get into the pasta so it flavors it. Okay, and next, capellini, 1 pound. Capellini is a little thinner than spaghetti and a little thicker than angel hair. And it cooks in like 4 minutes. So you want to put it right into the boiling water. Just swirl it around. And just give it a big stir. And that'll keep it from sticking. Okay, next the sauce. Not gonna believe how easy this is. So it's a half a pound of butter. I know it's a lot of butter, but it's really good. The zest of 2 lemons, and I'm gonna zest it right over the sauce, because then the oils from the lemon zest get into the sauce. So you just want that little bit of bright yellow around the lemon. You don't want the white pith underneath, because that's bitter. This is a great dish. I make this all the time for New Year's Eve because we love to go out, have drinks, have fun in Paris, take a little tour, and then come back and have dinner at midnight. And I don't want to start making a long, complicated dish. So what I do is I make this, and literally in 5 minutes, dinner's on the table, lemon capellini with a big dollop of caviar on top. That sounds very festive New Year's Eve in Paris, doesn't it? Okay, that's one. And now one more. You know, I've seen so many recipes for lemons where they say, okay, you want a half a cup of lemon juice and then lemon zest. But by the time you've juiced the lemons, you can't zest it. So always zest the lemons first before you juice them. So this is going to be the zest of 2 lemons and then the juice of 2 lemons. This is really one of my favorite dishes of all time. It was in my first book, the Barefoot Contessa cookbook, and I've made it ever since. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going to do the juice of 2 lemons. In fact, I got this recipe on a New Year's Eve. I went to somebody's house and they were making it. I remember after a really long day at the store, I arrived at these people's house for New Year's Eve dinner, and they were cooking, and I kind of joined in just to be social. And the next thing I knew, everybody had left for the living room, and there I was making dinner for everybody. I thought, well, at least I got a great recipe out of it. Freshly squeezed lemon is just the best. Love my little juicer. Okay, this just goes right into the sauce. 2 teaspoons of salt. 1 teaspoon of pepper. And just swirl that around. Make sure it's really nicely mixed. And let's see if the pasta's ready. Got to clear the decks a little bit. Whoa, runaway lemon. So I'm just going to cook this. Normally it cooks for 4 minutes for al dente, but what I'm going to do is cook it for 3 minutes and then cook it in the sauce for another minute. Missy Robbins from Missy, the restaurant, pasta restaurant, taught me this. Perfect. So I'm going to just lift it out, let it drain a little bit, but then take some of the pasta water and put it into the sauce. And the starch in the pasta water thickens the sauce. And then I have lots of pasta water just to add back in if I need to. Missy Robbins is just an incredible restaurateur in Brooklyn. She owns 2 restaurants, Lilia and Missy. They both have unbelievable pasta that she makes. Think this is enough pasta? This is going to be so good. It's basically lemon, butter, and pasta, but the total is so much better than the sum of its parts. And then I'm just going to toss it together. I mean, Missy tosses it in the air, but I'm going to be a little more conservative. I don't think it'll be all over the kitchen and me if I do that. So just toss it all together. Just keep tossing it for about a minute. So all the butter and the lemon and the zest and the salt and pepper get absorbed into the pasta. And then as it sits, it's just going to get a little dry, so I'm going to put a little of the pasta water in. I want to make sure it's really moist. You don't want it dry. Just toss it together. I wish you could smell this. It's just unbelievable. That sort of fresh, citrusy lemon is so good. And butter. I mean, how bad can that be? Okay, I'm going to show you how I plate it. So I've got an Italian plate. I thought that would be pretty. And let me see if I can do it the way Missy does it. She takes a big thing of pasta. Whoa. So what Missy does is twirl it on the plate and your hand, so it ends up being a nice little pile. I don't know, hers looks better, but mine's still good. Oh, runaway lemon, and then I'm gonna do a little lemon zest on the top, just so you know it's lemon. It's that last hit of lemon that you really taste when you taste the pasta. And then everybody knows it's lemon. And I think maybe I'm just gonna do a little wedge of lemon on the plate. How's that? A little salt, a little pepper, and that's lemon capellini. Looks so good, I may have to try it. Why do I think I'm going to be wearing this by the time I'm done trying this? Just to twirl it around. This is not my forte. It's so good. It's really zesty from the lemon zest and juice. It's perfectly seasoned. That's an amazing pasta. It's crazy good. One of the most important things I learned running a specialty food store is how to make really simple things that have high impact, lots of flavor. This lemon chicken breast that I make all the time for dinner is exactly that. First thing I'm going to do is make a sauce. It's really simple. 1/4 cup of olive oil and lots of garlic. This is a chicken breast dish that I just throw in the oven and forget about it. And the sauce has garlic and thyme and lemon, and it has so much flavor.
And the whole thing takes like 5 minutes to put together. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of garlic into the oil. You don't want the oil too hot because you don't want the garlic burning. I'm just going to cook that literally for 60 seconds. And in the meantime, I'm going to put in 1/3 of a cup of good white wine. You can already smell the garlic. It's just fantastic. Just want the garlic cooked. You don't want it brown, because when it starts to brown, it starts to burn. Okay, that's fantastic. You can really smell it. White wine, lots of lemon. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of lemon zest. Okay, that should be at least a tablespoon. Right in. And then some fresh lemon juice. About 2 tablespoons. So yeah, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I mean, just think of all the flavor in there already. It's fantastic. Okay, and then some herbs. I'm gonna put in 1½ teaspoons of dried oregano. I use dried oregano because I think fresh oregano is too strong. And then just sort of grind it between your hands. Really releases the oils. Right in. Lots of fresh thyme. These are really Provençal kinds of flavors. I love them. It smells so good. Into the sauce. Okay, and the last thing is salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. I want to make sure this chicken has great flavor. And that's it. I'm just going to pour this into the dish with the chicken, throw it into the oven, and dinner's going to be ready. It's actually important to put the sauce in the bottom instead of on top of the chicken so the chicken browns nicely. I can really smell the garlic and lemon. It's fantastic. And then just place them right on top of the marinade. Now at this point, if you wanted to do it in advance, you could actually put it in the refrigerator and bake it later, and the flavors would just get into the chicken, or you can just throw it right into the oven, which is what I'm gonna do. Next, I'm just gonna brush them with olive oil just to make sure they brown really nicely. You know, if in the oven, after they come out, if they're not totally browned, you can just run them under the broiler for a minute. But this should do it. Okay, fab. And then to make sure there's great lemon flavor, I'm gonna roast an entire lemon in the dish with them. So I'm just take off the ends and just cut the lemon in 8 wedges. Now, into the oven, 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, and then when they come out, I'm gonna wrap them with foil, let them rest for 10 minutes, and that's about as easy as dinner gets. It's so moist, it's delicious. Now I remember why I make this all the time. There's a point in every summer where I just can't look at one more barbecued chicken. And I thought, I'm gonna test a recipe for flattened chicken, maybe like a Tuscan chicken with lemon and garlic. So I'm gonna take a whole chicken, and in order to flatten it, I'm just gonna take the backbone out. Of course, you can have the butcher do this, but it's really quite simple. Just take your knife and run it right along one side of the backbone, and then right along the other side of the backbone, just take it right out. So, I've got a flat chicken that's gonna grill evenly. Need lots of salt, give it lots of flavor. Both sides. To really bring out the chickenness in it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this in a pan that's big enough to hold it. That's perfect. Now I'm gonna need some rosemary for the marinade. At the end of the day, chicken's pretty bland, so I want to infuse it with as much flavor as I can. So for the Tuscan lemon chicken, I'm gonna start with lots of fresh rosemary, about a tablespoon. And a tablespoon of chopped garlic. Always good in chicken. I need 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. So 2 teaspoons, I need maybe 1½ lemons. Okay, that's about 2 teaspoons. So right into the marinade. And then freshly squeezed lemon juice. What I'm basically making is a lemon vinaigrette with lots of fresh herbs.
a squeeze. I need about 1/3 of a cup, which is a little more than 1 lemon, maybe 1 1/2. Lots of pepper. 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. Stir it all together. And just pour it right over the chicken. This is why you want a dish that's just the size of the chicken, because you want it to really soak in the marinade. Yeah, okay, that's part 1, marinating. Part 2, the grill. And this chicken on the grill is gonna be fantastic. First thing I need to do is brush the grill. Really hot coals, but just 1 layer. I don't want it too hot, otherwise the chicken's gonna burn. So the key to cooking something like this is to make sure it's all about the same thickness, right on the grill. And at this point, most Tuscan chickens have like bricks wrapped in foil, all kinds of complicated things on top. But I just take the dish that it was marinated in, put it right on top, and that makes sure that it's really even. When the chicken goes on, don't pour the marinade over, otherwise you'll find your chicken engulfed in flames. All the oil will start to burn. Not pretty. So I'm just gonna cook it for about 12 to 15 minutes on each side. Actually, I think this might work out okay. So there are 2 ways to tell whether it's done. One is the meat thermometer, and one is just to cut between the thigh and the breast and see if the juices run clear. But 150 degrees, perfect. I'm just gonna take it off, put it on the board, cover it with aluminum foil, and let it rest, and it'll continue cooking a little bit. And the last little surprise of this recipe is grilled lemon. I'm just gonna put the lemon on the grill, and it gives a real smoky flavor to the lemon. It's fantastic, better than a sauce. Okay, just gonna cut this in quarters, squeeze it with the lemon juice, and have Tuscan grilled lemon chicken. Lemon capellini with roasted shrimp, and you're not gonna believe how easy this is. I've got 2 pounds of shrimp. They're large shrimp, they're peeled and deveined. Watch this. This is the best way to make cooked shrimp. Olive oil, salt, pepper, toss them together. Forget big pots of boiling water. This makes the most flavorful shrimp. Into the oven, 400 degrees, 6 to 8 minutes, and they're gonna be perfectly cooked shrimp. Okay, while those roast, I'm gonna make the pasta. But in order to have delicious pasta, it's gotta have salt and oil in it. So, lots of salt. I want it to have great flavor. Big splash of oil so it doesn't stick together. Okay, and 1 pound of capellini, which is this really fine pasta. 3 minutes. Give it a big stir. Okay, while that cooks, I'm gonna make the sauce. And this is really easy. 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter for flavor, always tastes better. I'm gonna do the zest and juice of 2 lemons. And all the oils and the zest are gonna get into the pasta. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, so that's the lemon zest. Now that just the juice. I'm gonna do the juice of 2 lemons. So this is a double hit of lemon. Okay, 2 teaspoons of salt. Make sure it really tastes lemony. 1 teaspoon of pepper. And I mean, that's the sauce. How easy is that? I'm just gonna drain the pasta and put it right into the sauce. I love making the sauce in a big pan and then putting the pasta in, because then it sort of soaks in. You can cook it for a minute together. Whoa. Now that's a lot of pasta. Okay, right over and into the sauce. Okay. Just toss it all together. I'm just gonna cook here for a second while I go get the shrimp. Amazing, 7 minutes and it does it perfectly. So right into the pan, toss them all together. Give it a little toss. Yeah. Oh, this looks great. I think I'm just gonna send them a photograph of the entire pan, but a little bit of lemon zest on the top so it looks like lemon. Do we think there's enough lemon in this? Okay, ready for its close-up. So one of the perks of my job is I get to eat what I test.